Do you ever feel like you've been looking through many different stuff on the internet or been hearing it on TV about the fake news and stuff like that? Well, that's actually going to be the topic I'm going to be talking about today. What's up, guys? Marcus here, and today I will be doing like an open thoughts thing, talking about fake news, media bias, what's the main difference between them, and why it's really impacting our basic society today. So if you guys pretty much don't know President Donald Trump right now or been living under a rock, well, basically he's been talking about the fake news a lot, talking about how he doesn't like the media and stuff like that. And the main targets he has really been targeting are ABC, CNN, CBS, NBC News, and the New York Times. So I'm going to be talking about why he targets it. Now, the main reason why he targets it is because he's been looking at all of these reports, looking at all of the articles that they put out, sources and stuff like that, and he says those are not reliable sources. Now, I think, in my opinion, I think that NBC is really not biased whatsoever. I think that NBC is a very great, reliable source, unless you're talking about MSNBC, then that's pretty much a different topic. But I don't think NBC has problem with their news. CBS is probably a little bit on the lines there. I don't know much about the ABC one. New York Times, I don't look at New York Times a lot. I mean, I am from San Diego, so what's me knowing about New York Times unless I'm really go on the phone and stuff like that. But the main thing is that CBS honestly is not really fake news, but I think it's media bias. Now, the definition of media bias is basically the one who has like a certain love for something but doesn't like the other thing. That's basically CNN's reports. Now, looking at it, when I was watching the Neil Gorsuch confirming or hearing, whatever you call it, I actually took the look and saw that one of the headlines while I was scrolling through the channels to see what other sources other than CNN I can watch it. I was gonna watch it on Twitter, but I didn't watch it on phone. But when I actually saw on CNN, it said on the headlines, on one of them, it says Trump's Supreme Court pick is being burned out or stuff like that, saying that like they don't like the Supreme Court hearing, even though on the analyst desk they were talking about how they like it, they think that he was going to do well in the Supreme Court. They saying he's already in his cool demeanor and stuff like that, and that's like the only other few times I respect CNN, and it's mainly because they don't like Donald Trump. I think that the station is mostly full of liberals, and I know it's a little bit hard to say because this is a controversial topic, but I think that it is clear that you see the media bias towards it, and I'm only talking about CNN United States. I'm not talking about CNN Philippines, Indonesia, stuff like that. But I think that the CNN US does show stuff like that. And it's not because I did not like them because they talked an article about hentai and they were trying to like expose the anime community and stuff like that. But I understand that now a lot of people are seeing that CNN is completely biased because they're mostly in a focus of liberals, and that's why they are always shocked, especially during that election time. They always focus their stories on Donald Trump, and with that, CNN ratings have been always dropping down. And it's not just been dropping down now. I've been seeing it completely drop a few years ago, where a lot of people were getting more sources from different things. But now you see Donald Trump. He is talking about mostly more stations other than CNN. He doesn't like New York Times a lot. He says it's like a failing newspaper station. But I think, in my opinion, it's honestly just in the direction they're taking, they're mostly going towards bias, and they don't like Donald Trump. That's obviously the reason why talking about CNN. And then for the other stations, I don't think they're completely biased or they're delivering fake news. They're delivering real news, but in the way that Donald Trump is thinking, he thinks that it is fake news. Mainly because, like, New York Times, they did post like an article or something like that, if I am not mistaken. But some articles saying like, does President Donald Trump have connections to Russia for the election and stuff like that. That's why he's continuously tanking the media. He's trying to tell them, no, you're fake news, or you're fake news. That's basically what he's going the direction is. And I think that it not just doesn't adapt towards today's culture. I mean, basically like newspaper culture or TV culture. It's also referring to with clickbaits, and I pretty much don't really have to go over clickbait because it's kind of a pretty obvious thing. I think that a lot of people can tell what is clickbait and what's not, but I think in my opinion that clickbait is really trying to give huge power toward the media, and maybe I could do a different video about this, is saying, is clickbait okay or stuff like that. But I think that, yeah, clickbait probably will give triggers to fake news. So those are mostly just my opinions about the whole fake news thing, and I think that Donald Trump will be continually attacking the media, especially CNN, but I think that you can go choose whatever sources you want. Like for my sources, I like to choose the San Diego Union Tribune because that's my local thing, NBC San Diego because I've been a fan of NBC. It's not like I'm biased, but I already know that of NBC San Diego. That was like my first station, right next to KUSI, that I was huge on. And then the Daily Dot, which is very good for online articles. And in other senses as well, you should choose whatever media you want to portray, whether they call it fake news or not. It's really how they target your audience. Sometimes they have a broad audience. Sometimes they have one that's focused on like liberals, which is like CNN, or you can focus one on conservatives, which is like Fox News. Basically, it's your choice of whatever you want to do in the basis of whatever news you want to watch, listen to, or even hear. Like I even do listen to KPBS every single day in the morning when I go to school, and I also listen to the branch of it, NPR News. So those are just like some sources that I personally enjoy. Maybe you don't, but that's honestly my take on personal bias, or not really personal bias, media bias, and the talk about fake news.